Welcome aboard, everyone. This is Tram, and on today's journey, we're gonna play Total War Warhammer 2. We are gonna play a campaign with one of the new characters
We must preserve this world.
called, if we over here she is Repanse de Lyonesse. This is gonna be a kind of introduction to the game. I'm gonna play as normal, but I'm gonna be explaining stuff, how things works, what strategies I'm gonna do, and things like that. So if you're new to this game, we're gonna learn it together, and I hope we can all have our fun. So the new character here that I'm gonna play is a Bretonnian character. Bretonnia is a faction that is heavy on cavalry, and it's a cavalry heavy army, and the faction itself is based a lot around chivalry, and using peasants like trash mobs to use as the meat grinder units, while the knights come in and save the day from flanking and from behind. If we look at the faction effects of Chevaliers de Lyonesse, which is Repanse faction here, she gets +3 control, which gives +3 public order on all provinces. This is really good. Public order means once your public order hits -100, a rebel army is gonna pop up, and you gotta deal with that. The more public control you have, the more vision you have over your provinces. Upkeep -50% for all heroes. This is also very nice. Heroes can be expensive in upkeep cost. Meal defense +8 for questing knights. This is nice. Here we have the questing knight. It is I think it's the one cavalry that is actually really good at staying constantly in combat due to its stats. Like in most cavalry, you want to charge, fight a little, then you take them out from the fight and charge again to use the charge bonus. Charge bonus applies to melee attack, which means you're gonna hit more often, and it also, I think it adds to the weapon strength, which means how much damage you do. Now see, Lord effects. So faction effects, this affects everything in our campaign. Lord effects only affects Repanse's own army. Repanse starts with Knight's Vow and Questing Vow unlocked. This is fairly common for legendary lords. For Bretonnia, she's the only Bretonnian lord available in the Vortex campaign. Chivalry +10. This isn't that awesome. It's kind of meh. Physical resistance +5% for all peasant units. This is really good because peasants have really bad armor. They have like no armor at all, really. So 5% physical resistance is it's a nice compensation. Leadership +5 for all peasant units. This is also good. Peasants are pretty cowardly and very easily breaks. And she has an ability called Halo of Maidenly Wrath. I cannot get a preview of this ability, so we will check it once we're in the game. Here we have difficulties. I think I'm gonna play on hard with we can have hard battle difficulty. I don't play Bretonnia that much, so I don't have much experience with these guys, so I will just play on hard for this time. And with that, we'll start the campaign. Once it's finished loading, we're probably gonna get an introduction to our campaign and what our missions are. I don't want to read the loading screen because I think it's gonna finish loading before I've managed to read those 2 paragraphs. soon. This is the longest loading time we're gonna have in the game. So when it loads the campaign for the first time when you start the game, it's gonna take a bit. So this is the only time we'll have this long loading screen.
In the lady's name, I have sailed across perilous seas to these distant lands, far from Bretonnian soil. The danger here is imminent. Wretched armies of the undead shamble across nearby scorched sands, led by their twisted vampire overlords. They must be destroyed. Across the Great Desert is a most unholy landmark, a pyramid blacker than night, harboring an ancient, powerful evil. Fate may compel me to end its malevolent taint once and for all. We once had a shared purpose in these lands with the unchivalrous men of the Empire. Now they sit in one of the last imperial vestiges of the Knights of Old, with unclear intentions. The foul, dark Lord Arcana Black terrorizes our nearby brethren. The Lich King is a dire threat to us all. Our help may be needed to vanquish him. The Lady wills that these lands be purified of the undead menace that blights it. Thus, we will litter the sands with the black, charred corpses of our defeated foes. Onwards for the Lady!
Alright, that was our campaign introduction for Repanse. I probably say her name wrong, but yeah, Repanse is what I'm gonna say until I know what it actually is. And we're gonna remove her little dialogue screen. Let's see. How they play. Errantry Confederation. Many knights journey far to foreign lands in search of a noble cause. Confederate them under one banner by aiding them in defeating those that taint and defile these southern lands. Desert First. Desert First preys upon those who desire the conquest of these lands in the Lady's blessed name. Combat this by garrisoning your army so they can take on water supplies before venturing into the desert, temporarily preventing attrition caused by dehydration and desertion. Vows and troughs. Pledging themselves to all that is pure and good, lord and ladies can adopt the vows of troughs of Bretonnia to seek out the Grail or serve the Lady. Chivalry. Chivalry is won or lost, honorable or dishonorable acts. Through honorable or dishonorable acts. Benefits are conferred on Bretonnian factions as their chivalry level increases. The Green Knight. At times, the Green Knight may be called upon to assist in the defense of the realm. Peasants. Bretonnian peasants primarily works the land, but may also be drafted into fight battles. Doing so may cause income to suffer, however.
The Lady guides me far from Lyonesse, a light, a beacon of hope and honor in an arid land of death. Let the people of these lands know my name.
Let's see. Mission issued. Holy Light. Capture and occupy settlement belonging to the following faction. Strigos Empire. Alright. Treasury. Our reward is 500 gold. Alright. So a little quick recap of what Bretonnia is. Bretonnia is the Franks, which is old France, mixed with the Arthurian legend, King Arthur and the Round Tables. That's what the Grail thing comes from. And as you can hear, they have a bit of French access, which is because they are basically a Warhammer France. I'm sure it is. And Repanse herself is inspired and kind of based off Jeanne d'Arc, a French popular lady in fiction. She's a historical person, but she's pretty popular to make an adaptation in fantasy stuff.
True Knight of Bretonnia.
Oh yeah, Repanse has actually, this wasn't mentioned in her faction, but Repanse has a unique hero here, Henry le Massif, which means Henry the Massive, and we're gonna read his description here. Quite literally, massive. Henry is one of the largest Bretonnian paladins ever, and a loyal knight of Repanse, who stands by her side through thick and thin. Let's see. He has a Guardian. Guardian is an aura ability that if a lord or a hero is within his aura range, they gain 15% physical resistance. This means those affected by this Guardian ability takes 15% less damage from physical attacks, like cannonballs, swords, monsters, stuff that isn't magic or does magic damage. Missile resistance 15%. Alright. I think it's because he has a shield. First thing first, we are gonna put Henry into same army as Repanse.
I will lead by example.
This way he will give EXP to our army, our regular units every turn. Also he will be able to join us in battles like this. So let's see, this is our capital for now, Coffer. And we have a simple barrack. We have a coffer docks, specifically a special port. It's because it unlocks night errands. Normally docks doesn't give night errands. Because, yeah. But they probably did this just so we can actually get some cavalry. So let's see, yeah. We can recruit some spirit armor men at arms. This is militia, pretty poor units, and knights errant, which is the first tier of Bretonnian cavalry, which is better than well, they're better than light cavalry at least.
For Bretonnia, for the lady.
So here we have our first opponent, Desert Skelly, who is standing on our land. I'm just gonna check a thing real quick. Yeah, alright, we're good. So I think we might end this episode with this fight here against excuse me, I got a cough, so I had to mute for a second. So yeah, we're gonna do this battle. I think we'll probably be done by the time the battle is done. So we're gonna learn about stuff how Total War Warhammer battle works. This is the most fun part of the game for me, is the battles.
Draw your weapons. Show no fear.
So as we can see here, our opponent has his own legendary lord, leader of his army. He has he actually has grave guards with great weapons. These are the elite infantry units of the Vampire Count faction. He has Kern Wraiths, which are very scary ghost skeletons with the scythes. They have a high amount of physical resistance, and they melt to magic damage. Other than that, his army is just basic chef skeletons, which is trash units. Very weak, but they can hold the front line while more heavy hitting stuff arrives. Black Knights, these guys might become an issue. Oh, I really like the dark blue colors of this faction, really nice. Yes, Black Knights are, it's the weakest cavalry of the vampire factions, but I think they're still pretty good cavalry for at the tier you can get them and for their cost. Skeletons. I think I saw a, yeah, here it is, a corpse cart. So there are 3 different versions of the corpse cart, which is dragged by 4 zombies and a necromancer with a whip, who is whipping a pile of corpses. Hence the name. All corpse cart gives a regeneration aura to nearby allies. However, this is the Balefire version. The Balefire, the Balefire reduces the mana, the power recharge of my army. However, I don't have any casters in this army, so I'm not going to be affected with that. Also, the Corpse Guard gives this Vigor Mortis, which is a nice +5 to melee, defense, and attack to nearby units. So it's a buff unit that has an aura that gives a lot of different auras that gives various benefits. So let's see. We're gonna put our front line here of noble peasantry. Our squires, our foot squires. These are the best melee infantry units we can get as Bretonia. They're alright. I wouldn't like make focus of them. I know in multiplayer you can make pretty good infantry armies with Bretonia, but we're not playing multiplayer, so we have access to more money on our armies. Oh, we have a trebuchet. I didn't actually notice this. So as we know, trebuchets can shoot a what's the meme? 40 kilo projectile over 300 meters. Something like that. However, what this means is as you can see, this is difficult to see because it's on yellow sand, but there's this yellow arc that shows just the reach of a trebuchet, and as we can see, it has the entire enemy army within its range. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna force them to come to us instead of charging them head on. So we're just gonna spread out our armies like this. I'm gonna put the squares here in the back so we can have a peasant archers ready here to hail down holy fire against these vampire counts. See, Knights of the Realm, questing knights. All right. So here are the questing knights, which Repanse gives a bonus to for simply being in her army. She doesn't have to be near them or anything. They look a lot like foot squires, which is more or less what they are, on a horse with a bunch of books and stuff on their back. These are combat cavalry, so they're able to be used as a grind unit. Grinding units are stuff that last very long in long time confrontations. Then we have shock cavalry, which are meant to be charging a lot. And we're actually going to use the lance formation. This will increase their charge bonuses and stuff. Now, Lyonesse. I was almost right in how I pronounced it then. So here we have Henry the Big, Henry the Massive. He has a burning sword. Does he deal magic damage? Nope. Bonus versus large though. Oh yeah, I think now we can read what her ability is. Halo of Maidenly Wrath. The power of the lady shone from Repanse like a halo, her sword and armor glowing with brilliant light of divine retribution. Let's see, it's an explosion that doesn't harm friendly units. It doesn't do well against the large units because it probably does a little damage. Weak against armor, so it doesn't have much armor penetration damage. But it doesn't give blinded, and blinded is the good part because it gives heavy debuff to melee attack and melee defense and accuracy, I guess, but accuracy doesn't matter much when you're in melee contact. So I think I'm gonna keep Henry with the questing knights. The squires are more like they're gonna be here like reinforcements. I'm gonna put them here in the back for the time being. And with that, let's start our mission. And let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna turn off the detailed stuff on the side. Well, I want the trebuchet to shoot at the Graveguards because that is one of my biggest concerns. Graveguards is, as I mentioned before, the elite infantry of the Vampire Knights. Vampire Counts, not Vampire Knights. Ooh, there we go. A hit, a fine hit. Some of the Skelly boys gets up, some of them does not. Looks like the Black Knights wish to fight. I'm gonna send a Repanse and the Knights, they should be able to win this. So I'm... and here we see, here comes the enemy cavalry charging right in, getting some arrows in them. I'm gonna pause just now. I know some people don't like when you pause, but for educational reasons, I'm gonna explain stuff here. So let's take up the information tab again. Here we have the Black Knights. They are large units. A large unit is basically anything that is a horse or bigger. So, and with some exception, like Henry here actually counts as a large unit even when he is dismounted. How is he dismounted? Well, we can turn off his mount in his like inventory. Not right now in a match, but on the campaign map. So here we have our men-at-arms with polearms, readying their polearms in a nice spear line like this, and they actually have charge defense against large foes. Black Knights are large foes. Charge defense against large foes means the charge bonus is not gonna activate from the Black Knight, which has a charge bonus of 26. So we're gonna deny them their charge bonus here and then just let them grind up against our polearms. And these Black Knights are already losing to the Knights of the Realm alone. Let's see. Yeah, here's the Maidenly Wrath explosion. So yeah, we're gonna leave them at that and make sure we keep tabs over here. It looks like oh yeah, one thing I should explain. The vampire counts is an undead faction. Undead factions are not scared of they do not rout because they are undead, meaning they are not scared of anything. They also cause fear. Fear makes enemies rout who are under a certain leadership threshold. However, as a weakness to this, because they are undead and most of them don't think by themselves unless they are a part of these Tomb Kings, which these are not. That's a lore thing. How mechanically speaking, they are all bounded to the Lord here. Here's our Lord, or dear Lord, Fremont Skellen, who is a Strigoi vampire, which is more of a vampire that has gone a more beastly path. As you can see, he looks quite monstrous. If he dies, the rest of the army will crumble, which means the leadership will go to 0, and since undeads can't rout, they will take a lot of damage over time until they are dead. So when an undead army loses all their morale, whether we manage to do enough leadership damage to them, or the Lord is dead, then they will start to crumble and take a lot of damage instead. So a good option is to actually attack the Lord directly and try to kill him as soon as possible. Alright, here's a problem. The Cane Rats have charged in. These Reapers. And my problem is I do not have access to much magic damage other than Repanse here. Her explosion is the only big magic, is the only source of magic damage she has, so she is gonna fall back to the front lines. Our Knights of the Realm is gonna evacuate. Alright, let's see if we can make sure. No! Don't get stuck. Get out of there. We need you elsewhere. Alright, fine. Fight that stuff. We're gonna send our foot squires here to charge from behind, but now they got counter charged by the Black Knights. Yep, this is what I feared. As you can see, our men-at-arms here, with the grayed out here in the army, are routing, because graveyards with great weapons are a lot much scarier than they are. This is a problem. So, well, Repanse is still stuck here, so we might as well activate her ability. Boom. And like that, she will have... Alright, our peasantry managed to recover and return to the fight. Right now I'm just gonna use my peasant bowmen to shoot these things while they are butchering our trebuchets. This is a bit of a mess. I'm not really sure what to do with this. I'll definitely let it grind out. No, what are you doing? I said charge this. Why are you going back? Oh, it's because a few are stuck in there. Man, good thing I caught that happening. Run, peasants, run! Well, Henry hasn't taken a lot of damage. I do wanna get out. Run, peasants! Come on, Knights of the Realm. Man, she's been grinding here. Oh, I think we have an opening here now. We can get out of here. Nice. Come on, get out of there. Man, is she slow? Speed 53. Yeah, it is pretty slow. There, speed 70, much better. Yeah, she was being poisoned by the ghouls here. The cryptic has a poison attack which makes units slower. So that's why she couldn't move as fast as she should. Come on. Here we go. We're almost there. Get closer. Yes, good. And now we activate it. Boom. And there we go. The camera took massive damage there and lost a lot of leadership. Alright, let's see what we can do with our bowmen here. Let's shoot at the skeleton warriors. Let's see if we can reclaim our trebuchets. Man, this fight was a lot tougher than I thought it would be for like the first battle. We're gonna attempt some cycle charging here. Henry comes in here, smashing into the ghouls. But now the lord... Oh! Looks like the units here are winning. Good job, guys. Criticals has pretty low armor, so they actually take a lot of damage from missile fire. Let's see. Well, the Greyguards are about to die. There we go, they crumbled. I think we're gonna win soon. Let's see. Alright, the Lord is over here. Oh, look at that swing. Whoosh. Alright, he's casting a healing spell on himself called Invocation of Nehek. Yeah, fight, fight, fight. I like their gusto. Gonna move our archers closer. Have as much as possible to focus down the Balefire Corpse Cart. We can activate the Halo again. There, now we only have the Lord left to deal with. Yeah. There he fell. And now he's disintegrating because he lost leadership. As you can see, he doesn't have a grey bar anymore. No grey bar means no leadership, which means he's gonna die real quick now. And there the beast falls. Well done. Kinda saved it there in the end. I thought we were gonna lose a lot harder. And here we have the post-combat results screen. As we can see, Repanse, 76 kills. Henry, 64. Or is it Henri? I don't know actually. Well, as you can see on the enemy army, like I said, Grey Guards are scary. They got 144 kills. And this was only the real scary part of their army, was the Grey Guards and the current rates. Let's see. Did anyone here act exceptionally well? Actually, yes. These guys, 106 kills. They were the one on Henry's flank with the questing knights, probably, and grinded the skeletons with those guys. Both knights units did a very good. The questing knights almost 200 kills. The Knights of the Realm 140 kills. So yeah, against an undead faction like the Vampire Counts, you all pretty much always kill all their units. So now that we won, we get EXP to our Lord and our army. EXP means we can unlock talents. And post battle we get two choices as Bretonians. We can ransom the captives we took. I don't know exactly who we caught, but I don't know who we caught here from the army, but he's alright. Calm down. However, as Bretonia, we do lose chivalry for asking for ransoming captives. However, executing the enemies gives us plus 4 leadership to our army, which is nice. But we don't gain any money. But we don't lose any chivalry either, so we're gonna just execute captives.
Victory in the lady's
Mm-hmm.
name.
It looks for some reason a couple of units survived our attack, despite they should be disintegrating, so we're just gonna attack them again, and we're gonna have to resolve.
Noble action and good intent. Good things will come to those that possess these virtues.
The guy who popped up now, this old man, he's the advisor. I think that's just his name, he's the advisor. He pops up in all factions campaigns, and he pretty much is tutorial guy who will explain stuff for you. So yeah, as we can see here, here's our chivalry. We are currently noble at 0 to 400 chivalry, which gives plus 2 leadership to all armies. We are gonna do this. We're gonna recruit some new units. Let's see. We have spear men-at-arms and irregular men-at-arms, and just comparing the stats. Spearmen are a lot worse against non-large units compared to swordmen, because they have much lower stats, but they have the anti-large bonus, which anti-X, like anti-small, anti-large, and stuff like that. It increases your melee attack and your weapon strength for that amount. If an unit has 15 bonus versus large, it gives 15 more melee attack and 15 more weapon strength against large units. So I think we just get regular men-at-arms, because I don't think I'm gonna fight much large units. Warning, there are more peasants in your army than your faction can sustain. Recruiting these units will have a negative effect on your farming income. Alright. Yeah, as you can see up here, peasant economy, we have 7 out of 8. We recruited the new men-at-arms, which will put us at 8 out of 8. And while that is up, we're gonna have I'm gonna have these bonuses, which our farms work at full capacity. And here we can see, since our characters level up, we're gonna level them up. We can pick different talents here, so we're gonna go with Suleiman. No, we're not gonna pick, so I'm just gonna read what it is. Commandeered as a riderless warhorse of a slain knight, Suleiman boldly charges Repanse into battle at the apex of her feared lance formation. Yeah, so this is the mount she came with. We're gonna take Route Marcher because it gives her more campaign map movement. And that is definitely worth it.
Bretonia can swear themselves to a solemn vow of duty. Choose a pledge that will benefit the lady the most in return for her blessings.
We're gonna do this in next episode. Let's see, nothing else. Alright. We're just gonna level up Henry as well. Yes, since he's a hero, he has a less specialized skill tree. And we're gonna give him a Knight's Wow later on. For now, right now we just take Blade Master, gives him +5 melee attack, so he has more likelihood to hit. And with that said and done, I thank you for watching. Yes, like I said, thank you for watching, and if you like this, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.